Hello viewers, I'm your host Uzma Jafri with another episode of South Asia Focus. Let's begin the show with India, which is taking giant strides in infrastructure development. In its latest feat, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the country's biggest Sardar Sarovar Dam on Narmada River in western Gujarat state. We have a report for you.
After performing the religious rituals at Kevadia in the Narmada district of Gujarat, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in the presence of a huge gathering of both eminent personalities as well as common people, inaugurated Sardar Sarovar Dam, the highest embankment on a river in India after 6 decades of its inception. The Sardar Sarovar Dam will provide water to 9,000 villages, and the power generated from the dam would be shared among 3 states, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and Gujarat. The project has been beset by controversy since the laying of the foundation stone by the country's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru in 1961.
भाइयों बहनों, ये गुजरात के नहीं, ये मध्य प्रदेश, राजस्थान, महाराष्ट्र, इनके करोड़ों किसानों के भाग्य को बदलने वाला प्रोजेक्ट। योजनाएं पूरी होना बहुत स्वाभाविक होता है, लेकिन शायद हिंदुस्तान में जितनी तकलीफें मां नर्मदा को झेलनी पड़ी, इस योजना को झेलनी पड़ी, दुनिया की कोई ताकत ऐसी नहीं थी जिसने इसमें रुकावटें पैदा न की।
About 57% of the electricity produced from the dam will go to Maharashtra, while Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat will be given 27% and 16% power respectively. The dam, which is the second biggest dam in the world, got completed recently after years of legal battles when the apex court allowed the authorities to increase the height of the dam to 138.72 meters from its earlier 121.92 meters. The increased height would enable the Sardar Sarovar Dam to store 4.73 million acre-feet of water. Indian Shipping and Water Resources Minister, while addressing the event, underlined numerous initiatives taken by the government to elevate the socio-economic standard of the farmers in the country.
और प्रधानमंत्री सिंचाई योजना में प्रधानमंत्री की जो विजन है कि किसान की आमदनी 2022 तक दुगनी करना है, हम पूरी कोशिश करेंगे कि हमारे 5 साल पूरे होंगे तो भारत सरकार के सहयोग से करीब 90 लाख हेक्टेयर जमीन पानी के नीचे आएगी और प्रधानमंत्री का ये भी सपना पूरा करने की हम पूरी कोशिश करेंगे, ये भी विश्वास मैं उनको देता हूं।
Indian government has been massively investing in infrastructure. It has been relentlessly working on developing railways, roadways, industrial corridors, and smart cities with modern high-speed communication and integrated logistic arrangements. Prime Minister has reiterated his vision of New India, where the youth of the country will be the key stakeholder in shaping and building India of the 21st century. The inauguration of the dam came just days after India inaugurated its longest beam bridge, Bhupen Hazarika Setu, over the Lohit River, a distributary of Brahmaputra River. Recently, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe also inaugurated the first high-speed railway project in India.
The world's largest democracy is well on its way to becoming the world's most powerful economy with its rapid pace in infrastructural development. Moving on, Let's talk about Baloch people who have been persistently demonstrating against Islamabad for the atrocities and human rights violations being carried out by Pakistan Army and Inter-Services Intelligence. The situation in Pakistan's Balochistan province is deteriorating after the launch of China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Recently, the Baloch political activists raised concerns at the 36th session of Human Rights Council in Geneva. We have a report.
Baloch activists and human rights activists raised their voices against the multi-billion-dollar CPEC and condemned the acts of butchery Pakistan and China have been practicing in order to plunder the natural wealth of Balochistan. World Baloch Organization and Unrepresented Nations and People's Organization UNPO organized an event scaling the abyss CPEC, economic exploitation and state oppression in Balochistan, on the sidelines of the 36th session of Human Rights Council in Geneva.
They cannot do any development or any progress without the consent of Baloch, because the Silk Road built on our young people, bodies of the young people. We don't accept this kind of development. We will not accept this kind of progress. We will not accept this kind of global initiative.
Presenting the grave situation of the region, speakers emphasized at the poverty, conflict and constant political instability people of Balochistan go through due to the biased and draconian policies of Pakistan establishment. The indigenous people who deserve to enjoy the benefits of the resources of their region at first place are not only deprived of the employment opportunities, but they are dealt with high-handedness and brutality to get the sites of the construction cleared. The speakers also stressed at the inhumane behavior Baloch are subjected to the hands of Pakistan authorities. There are innumerable cases of enforced disappearances, arbitrary detentions and extrajudicial killings in Balochistan.
We all know that the human rights violations are taken indiscriminately all over the country. In China, we know that China is not a champion of human rights. It's on the contrary. So, of course, it's the worst combination of states when it comes to human rights. So.
Activists of Baloch Republican Party (BRP) protest outside the United Nations in Geneva to highlight the growing atrocities of Pakistani forces. They shouted anti-Pakistan and anti-China slogans and raised and sought an immediate stop at construction of the multi-billion-dollar China-Pakistan Economic Corridor (CPEC). Military operations in civilian populated areas enforced disappearances, torture, extrajudicial and custodial killings of political activists and students, mass abduction of families, muzzling voice of journalists and human rights activists, denying access to media and NGOs are some of the gruesome measures taken by Pakistani security apparatus in Balochistan, which defy all international human rights standards. These gruesome violations of human rights have intensified after the commencement of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor or CPEC, the flagship project of China's OBOR or BRI initiative, which aims to connect China's Xinjiang region to the Arabian Sea through Gwadar port of Balochistan.
It's their land. It's their land. China and Pakistan are taking their land and giving them nothing. Taking their oil, taking their gas, taking their copper, taking their gold. Taking their gold the whole time while these people get nothing. They are killing the most educated people within their community. Taking out the educated people to leave an uneducated populace that they can enslave. That's what's happening. It's not disputed. It's their land.
Balochistan, a region that spans across parts of Iran, Afghanistan, which accounts for 23% of Pakistan's total gas production, is provided merely 6% for the consumption and is one of the least developed regions economically. For centuries, Punjabi and Chinese businessmen have been exploiting Baluchistan's plentiful minerals such as copper, uranium, gold, coal, silver and platinum.
The Baloch feel completely marginalized and the establishment has been increasingly tyrannical in dealing with them. My colleague Ravi Khandelwal spoke to Abdul Nawaz Bukti, who is a Baloch human rights activist and representative of Baloch Republican Party at the United Nations Human Rights Council.
Abdul, you have been raising the issue of Balochistan in the United Nations. So what is the response of the international community in the recent past?
Actually, the response by the international community is very less for the past some years, but I think it is a very positive development that now countries have started to respond to the voices that are being raised by the Baloch people. I mean, if you look at the past 10 years or so, there was not even a single mention of Balochistan in forums like the UNHRC and other international forums. But now, when the Baloch people have started to campaign more organized way, like for the Baloch Republican Party has set up a organized team to go to the session every 3 times a year, and then we have been presenting statements, we have been doing seminars, we have been organizing protest demonstration and awareness rallies, pamphleting and other such things. So the response from the other side is very little, but it is very positive that it has at least started to come, and we hope that it will the voices from the other side will continue to come, and we hope that there will be also practical steps to be taken to stop the Pakistan from doing what it's doing in Balochistan.
What is the major concern of the Baloch people at present in Balochistan?
Our major concern is the genocide that Pakistan Army is carrying out with impunity, with complete impunity. There is no media coverage of the situation in Balochistan. Pakistani media is completely irresponsible as far as Balochistan is concerned. They do not report anything from Balochistan. Only they have become the mouthpieces of the Pakistani military, and the statements that ISP sends them, they just publish as it is. They do not consult other side of the story. They do not report it. So it is a major issue for us to get the things highlighted through the media, because I can say something that can be a political opinion or one side of the story, but if the media, if the international and unbiased media start to report it, then there will be practical steps and people will take it seriously. So our basic concern is that of course it is the first of all it is the genocide that is taking place, and then comes the attention by the international media and human rights NGOs.
There is a very strong opposition related to the CPEC project which China and Pakistan they are building. They have already made some developments in Gwadar port. So how concerned are the Baloch regarding this project, because they are saying that it is an accession by Pakistan and China into their territory?
Actually, the Baloch see this project as a hostile project which aims to push them into eternal slavery of Pakistan, because it is a very well planned strategy. They have been building roads, but first and also the infrastructure that only helps the state machinery. They are not doing anything for the local people. For example, if we take Gwadar, the local people are deprived of basic life facilities, even water. They do not have any drinking water, and they have been bringing in more people, building infrastructure, building new buildings, and building the port, bringing in Chinese, the army. It is in complete siege of the army, and they bring more people from the other parts of Pakistan, and then they settle them there. Just to show that it is not only Baloch land, it is a Pakistani land where there are more. We fear that there will be more Chinese than even Pakistani, let alone the Baloch people. They are being forced to migrate from the areas through different means. They are being deprived of basic life facilities. They are not given proper identification documents. They are required to pass through hundreds of checkposts in order to reach their homes. So there are many ways that Pakistan forces are trying to force the local population to migrate, so they can completely control the Gwadar port. And they are applying the same strategy everywhere in Balochistan, where they find anything which is used of them, for example, the natural resources, the strategic locations of the Baloch country. So the Baloch concern, as far as CPEC is concerned, is first of all, it is the illegal project because it is against the consent and wishes of the Baloch people. They do not want any foreign intervention in their country, including the intervention of Pakistan, and Chinese of course not. And then again, there are such things that I've already mentioned that they are doing just to further persecute the Baloch and to convert them into a minority in their homeland.
Thank you, Abdul.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Moving on to Afghanistan, we will see how the women-exclusive news channel in the city of Kabul, which had made headlines across the globe, is thriving now. There have been some hiccups in the short journey of around 4 months, but the owner and employees have their morale up and are confident that they will touch new heights of success in near future. We have a report.
The TV channel was launched in May in Kabul, with almost 3/4 of its staff being women. The 24/7 news channel is now running with energy and enthusiasm after 4 months of its inception. Hamid Samar, the founder and the owner of the channel, who named his network Zan, the Persian word for woman, credits his mother for inspiring him to start the channel, which shows all anchored and mostly produced by women. He believes it will make a difference even beyond Afghanistan.
We are receiving the feedbacks from the women that they're in Pakistan, from women that they're in India, that women that are in Tajikistan, that they are applauding what the Afghan woman did in this kind of situation. They are thinking, if the Afghan they can do that, why not we cannot do that?
However, it has not been an easy journey for Samar so far. Even 3 months after the launch of the channel, the network is not generating any revenue. Until now, no one has come forward to provide any kind of assistance to the channel. The other thing which is holding the network back is the limited experience of the staff. There is also the risk of having a TV channel predominantly employing women in a country that has already seen women being killed for working outside home.
We just received 2 official threats like 2-3 weeks ago, and that times for a moment or for 5-10 minutes I was totally confused. I was saying that the most important thing is for me is my staff, that they are working here. Their life is very important for me, and I discussed with them that I told them we have a threat.
However, threats have not been able to dampen the spirit and morale of the employees. The dedication and the vision of the staff are the reasons Samar has no regrets about his decision. Sitara Hassan, a Danish citizen who earlier came to Kabul to wrap up a report she was working on, never went back to her country. And now she only wants to work for the station.
I want to be a part of such an impactful project because I see a lot of potential in this TV, and I think nothing similar has been done for women here.
The network, which is headquartered in a house in Kabul's business district, may not be well funded, but the atmosphere all around and the passion of the staff of the channel seem genuinely inspired by the difference they are making.
With Zan only catering to women, the question is whether Samar's gamble will pay off in the long run. Moving on to Nepal, where the Terai region, hotbed of Nepali politics following widespread protests in 2015, successfully conducted the local body elections. The elections are being viewed as historic by many, as till recently Madhes-based parties were opposing them and had vowed to disrupt the polling process if their demands were not met. We have a report.
Voters in the Terai region of Nepal queued up at more than 3,500 polling stations to cast their vote to elect local body representatives. More than 37,000 contested in 136 bodies of 8 districts with 1 metropolitan city, 3 sub-metropolitan cities, 73 municipalities and 59 rural municipalities. The final round of election, first step towards the implementation of the constitution promulgated in 2015, is being hailed as a milestone in the history of Nepali politics by experts. A voter turnout of nearly 73% was recorded in the polls, a significant step towards the country becoming a truly democratic state. Conducting elections became possible only after Meitei-based parties, including the Rashtriya Janata Party Nepal, agreed to join the process. They had boycotted the 2 previous rounds of voting in 6 other provinces. Meiteis witnessed a prolonged agitation between September 2015 and February last year against the implementation of the new constitution, which they felt marginalized the Terai community.
The elections have paved the way for conducting provincial and general elections, which are scheduled to be held later this year. We are now joined by Mr. Bimal Gautam, a political analyst who is an expert in Nepal politics. Mr. Gautam, how do you see the successful completion of the 3rd phase of the local body polls, and how is it going to impact the national political discourse?
The local election has proved that the people were people have long waited to elect their local representatives. As this time of as the local election that took place this time is different from the local election that had taken place some 20 years back, because the local election of this time was conducted under the federal setup. It is expected that the people's service delivery, in terms of service delivery, in terms of rights distribution and other aspects, the local election that took place this time is expected to address people's concerns, grievances, problems from their respective areas.
Thank you, Mr. Gautam. Now we move on to the land of festivals, India, where with the arrival of the season of some of the country's biggest festivals, an atmosphere of exuberance can be witnessed across states. Today we bring to you different kinds of celebrations revolving around the story of demon king Ravana and victory of goddess Durga over demon Mahishasur. Have a look.
Hundreds of devotees flock to northern Allahabad city every year to participate in a procession eulogizing the demon king Ravan, the antagonist Ramayana, a Hindu epic. The procession is taken out as part of an age-old tradition of worshipping the demon king, who is otherwise vilified across India for abducting goddess Sita, the wife of Lord Ram. A number of tableaux depicting the life of Ravana are part of the procession. Devotees dress up as Ravana, his wife Mandodari, brother Kumkarn and son Meghnad for the procession.
इलाहाबाद के लिए ये एक अनोखी चीज है। पूरे हिंदुस्तान में सिर्फ इलाहाबाद में ही ये रावण बारात निकलती है, जिसको लोग दूर दूर से देखने आते हैं। हम लोग भी बचपन से इसको देख रहे हैं और इलाहाबाद में जब ये निकलती है रावण बारात, तो इसी के साथ रामलीला और जनता जो है स्टार्ट हो जाती है।
The procession is taken out every day until Dashera, when the effigies of the demon king are burned. According to Hindu almanac, Dashera is celebrated at the end of the 9-day-long festival of Navratri, dedicated to the Hindu goddess Durga. The 9 days of the festival are dedicated to the 9 incarnations of goddess Durga. People fast during Navratri, spurning food items like onions and garlic, and eat only once a day, while some take only fruits and water and avoid even a single morsel. In the states of Gujarat and Maharashtra, people celebrate Navratri by dressing up in vibrant traditional costumes and taking part in Garba and Dandiya dance events. Navratri culminates on the 10th day with the celebration of Dashera, which celebrates the triumph of good over evil. Dashera also commemorates the victory of Hindu god Rama over Ravana. According to Ramayana, Lord Rama killed Ravana and rescued his abducted wife Sita. Dashera also symbolizes the triumph of the mother goddess Durga over the buffalo demon Mahishasura.
There are multiple festivals lined up in this time of the year, and they will culminate with grand celebrations of Diwali, the festival of lights. With that, we come to the end of this week's episode. See you next week. Take care and goodbye.